Okay, the freaking crossword story. Alright, y'all, so this was many moons ago. This story took place. I was still in school, and this was a fellow classmate. This was a fellow classmate, and when I say many moons ago, it wasn't even college. Like, it was quite, I wanna, what? Yeah, no, it was high school. We were doing crossword puzzles. It was high school. So there was so many moons ago, thousands of years, back when electricity wasn't a thought in the human mind, and the dinosaurs had recently just become extinct via meteor. I attended high school. And in this high school, I had other classmates, and one of them, we'll call them Susan. And Susan would often, like, so it was, like, very obvious that, you know, I might have had, okay, no, let me, how do I put this? How the fuck did I put it the first time? So for, like, you know, for special children, there we go. I'll phrase it that way. For the specialist of children, such as I, you know, it was very obvious that I was, the specialist little gal around, because special, the X-Men. I don't know how the fuck else to put it in a way that's, like, won't get me, like, in a way that's respectful of myself, and also won't get me boot kicked off Twitch. So, like, anyway, I had special accommodations for myself, because of my unique and interesting limited skill set. So basically, I had, like, a typewriter sort of tool in school, that would, like, help me with writing, because writing with pen and paper, hilariously, I loved writing with pen and paper, but nobody could understand what I wrote, because my handwriting wasn't the greatest. It was quite an issue. And they were like, we'll just give you this. We'll just give you a little typewriter thing, and you write things in it. And, you know, it had spell check in it, specifically to help with the spelling situation that I had going on. You use pen and paper? I feel like this is a trick question, and I am not falling for it. So anyway, it was very clear to all of my classmates that, one, I had trouble with physical writing, and two, I had a lot of trouble with spelling. That it went sort of without saying. You know, after spending time in a classroom with me, it became quite evident that that was the case. And so, you know, these were well-known facts. And one day, you know, our teacher, I was in a miscellaneous class, you know, for a miscellaneous subject, and the teacher wasn't there that day, and they were like, oh, well, it's time for crossword puzzles. The substitute was like, I'm not teaching, it's time for crossword puzzles. And so they proceeded to hand out a crossword puzzle. And you know how teachers sometimes do the very evil thing of, like, you know, the crossword, if they hand out a crossword puzzle or some shit, it counts as your attendance or something. And what is it called? Frickin', yeah, no, it was just a frickin' nightmare, honestly. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. So I'm getting distracted. I'm also trying to recall the events of the story correctly. It's been a very long time. I remember the gist of it. I remember the important parts, but I'm setting the scene and I'm desperately trying to remember the everything else. So anyway, so they give us crossword puzzles. It counts as our attendance. I'm sitting with the rest of my classmates, and, like, honestly, I think Ah, frick. It doesn't really matter, right? No, I don't. The tiny details don't really matter. The gist of it matters. So anyway, I'm sitting with my classmates, and the person next to me, you know, they're an acquaintance. We've talked before. We've talked many a time. And they're like, oh, you know, this crossword puzzle, huh? And I'm like, yeah, you know, this crossword puzzle, it's whatever, you know, it's whatever. I'm sitting there, I'm like trying to talk about like Naruto to my friends probably, or whatever. It was around that time, unfortunately. I was probably trying to talk about some cursed as fuck shit. So, you know, I'm like sitting there trying to be a nerd, you know, minding my own fucking business. And why do you like Naruto? Listen, I am not falling for these questions. These rhetorical questions. What is it called? And so, like, I probably, honestly, like, put the crossword. I probably filled out the crossword puzzle wrong and then put it away, if I had to take a guess. And anyway, the person next to me was like, yeah, this crossword puzzle, huh? And I was like, yeah, it's whatever, you know. And they're like, you know, like, don't you have trouble with these sorts of things? And I'm like, yeah, but it's whatever, you know, like, it's not, you know. So usually, you know, if somebody starts off a conversation with me, you know, relating to like, oh yeah, you know, you have, I'm wiggling my eyebrows, not that you can tell, but if they're like, you have difficulties, don't you? I'm immediately like, oh, I don't know where this conversation is going, and I know I'm not gonna like it. Like, no conversation has ever started well with somebody coming up to me and being like, so I've heard you have difficulties. Wherever the conversation is going, it's probably off a cliff. It's probably the only direction we're going is directly off of a cliff, probably. Oh shit, second phase, let's go. So anyway, frickin', excuse me, and I'm like, oh, well, you know, that's not really important. And they're like, take out the crossword puzzle. I'm like, why? You know, like, I'm like a little weirded out. And they're like, let me see your crossword puzzle. And like me and my like half-ass, not really done crossword puzzle. And they're like, oh, like, you're not really finished with it. You know, like, let me, could you just like do the crossword puzzle like in front of me? And I'm like, what do you mean do the crossword puzzle in front of you? And they're like, yeah, I just wanna see you do the crossword puzzle. Can you just please do the crossword puzzle? And I'm like, what? I'm like, what the fuck is this person on about? I'm sitting there like, what do you, I don't really want to do it right now. Like, I'm fine. And they're like, no, like, we have to do it. Like, we have to do it for class. Can't you just, oh man, I just really want to see you do this crossword puzzle. Like, can you please? And like, they're getting weirdly worked up about seeing me, like, do the crossword puzzle. And like, I'm like sitting there like trapped because what am I gonna do? Like, you can't really leave class. Like, you can't really leave class. You can't really do anything. You know, you're just there. Like, if you're like, I don't want to do this anymore, and you get up and go, you'll get in trouble. And so they're like, they're just sitting there being like, oh yeah, just let me freaking see you, like, just circle something on the crossword puzzle, please. And like, they're like dying, and I'm sitting there like, I'm like so uncomfortable, and like I go to like circle something and they're like, it's wrong, but like they're happy about it. Like, I don't know if happy is the way that like I would use it, but I would, happy maybe not in the sense that I would think of, but they were pleased. They were pleased in a lustful way, I would say. That, like they're sitting there like on the edge of their seat, like, oh yeah, you circled it wrong. Oh, you did it wrong. Erase it and do it again. Erase it, you're doing so bad at this. Just do it again. Let me see you do it again. And I'm like, and I'm sitting there like, I want to leave. I want to go. I'm sitting there intently like aware of the fact that I'm trapped. And so I'm like, no, you know, at this point when I begin to realize that like this person is like is into some weird shit, right? Like they're discovering things about themselves in this very moment that I'm not down for this. Okay, I did not consent to this weird kink thing that they've got going on. You know, like it was the thing. Many different things creeped me out about this, but like the fact that they searched, that they wanted me specifically, I think they just wanted to see somebody struggle, which I wasn't down. I did not consent to this. I did not consent to this. And so like, and so oh my god. Yeah, and so I was like, oh, okay, like, you know, I'll just do the crossword puzzle later. And they were like, oh damn, like when I finally put the crossword puzzle away, they were like, oh damn it, like they were upset. And I was sitting there like that was one of the weirdest things that has ever happened to me, because I was minding my business. I was minding my business in my own fucking lane, you know, just like trying to not, you know, make any noise. And this weird as fuck person just being like, oh yeah, do the crossword puzzle in front of me. I want to see you struggle to find words in this crossword puzzle. I know that you have trouble with words. Just weird as fuck shit. Oh my god.